Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. How we feeling today? Obviously, a bit of a more chill day today. Thankfully, I feel like we've had the freaking crazy couple of days, a lot going on, so much madness. We had Trump's coin, Trump's inauguration. I mean, Melania coin, Baron coin, fart coin, butthole coin. I mean, we've had everything over the last few days, and it feels like we finally have a chill day. Now, speaking of chill days, it is snowing outside in southern Louisiana. Mind you, it has never happened before. We have like 5 inches of snow outside. I had no idea what was going on. Mind you, I'm 23, so I've never really been in the snow before. I'm outside in oven mitts. I had Chelsea boots on with 10 layers of clothes on. I mean, no idea. So maybe everybody's getting a little bit of outside time in. I went walk around the neighborhood, let my dogs out. They had no idea what was going on. So absolutely, absolutely, absolutely crazy stuff here this morning. And so I wanted to just jump on with you all today, kind of just go through the market. No idea how long the stream's going to be, but I have really, really, really liked being back on stream, guys. I've been really enjoying it, and so today was what we're going to be doing. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to kind of go through the market. We're going to take a look at some crypto. We're going to look at, of course, coin bubbles, crypto bubbles, coin glass. We're going to take a look at what's happening with liquidation levels, what the lizard people are doing. We're going to get an idea of what's happening here in this market today. And yeah, then we'll go from there. If you have any questions, please do save them for towards the middle of the end of the live stream, where I am going to do a little Q&A section for you all. And yeah, so let me know if the audio, video, everything sounds good. And if so, we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome in, everybody. What did you think about my little new banner? How did you feel about it? We had this made just yesterday, this right here. Very happy about it. No lizard people allowed. So if you didn't get the message and you're a lizard person in here, kick rocks. We don't want you here. But outside of that, look, like I said, if audio and video is all good, we are going to get going, everybody. All righty. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Absolutely. Yes, I am in southern Louisiana, the bottom of the bottom. So, all right, everybody. Well, look, let's get straight into it. Bit of an early morning here in the market. We're seeing a bit of a cool, calm, and collected day today, something I am very happy about myself. We head over to crypto bubbles, what we can see. Obviously, Trump's coin is down a good bit. It's just what happens, guys. It's just what happens. It was at $74 at one point. It is currently now at $38, and I don't want to see it do bad. Don't get me wrong. And it is giving us some structure that suggests that it could have some momentum at some point. But, I made that video for you all. Maybe 2 or 3 days ago, where it said, is it too late to buy Solana and Trump coin? And what we were talking about was quite simply that, listen, in the short term is very risky. Now, mind you, when I made that video, we were right here. We were in this little portion right here. A lot of people were kind of making fun of me after that video. They were saying, hey, look, it's going back up, because I made that around $61. It went back up to $72, but then from there, it kind of just fell off a cliff. And these are the things you just have to understand. They happen all the time, right? These buy the rumor, sell the news events happen all the time. And you just have to be aware that it happens so you can avoid it. But that's down today. We are seeing AI16s popping back up on the day, currently trying to retest back towards that $1 level. I am negative on my AI16s position, which doesn't feel great, but it is what it is. I made a gamble here with the AI agent space, and I'm going to stick to it. I might be doing a little dollar cost averaging now, because it does feel as if AI16s is trying to recover a little bit or at least stabilize a little bit. So overall, I think we're going to be in a good spot here with AI16s, especially if it can sort of stabilize, find that support, and open up that door to the upside. We're looking at Mantle coming in at $1.10, having a fantastic day, up 15%. I was about to say, it climbed on the rankings, pushing its way into the top 40, which is interesting. I don't really know much about Mantle, so happy to check that out. And then, of course, our good friend Phantom, or the new S token, Sonic, previously Phantom, that bad boy pushing up. But outside of that, not a ton going on. Obviously, Fartcoin down, Jupe down, Trump down, seeing a lot of negatives coming out from some of these meme coins that we saw last week, but that is somewhat what you would expect, right? Especially after the end of the hype, right? All of the hype and a lot of the excitement with Fartcoin and Trump and all these other things were in build up to his inauguration. Now that the inauguration has passed us, it is going to allow the market to kind of flush a little bit. Over in the school, we actually talked about the fact that, this is going to be a little bit gross, but I find it funny. You ever met that person, or maybe it was you yourself, where you were like, oh, I want to do a detox, and so you drink these like little nasty green drinks, and then you just flush everything out your body. I feel like the market's kind of done that over the last few days. I feel like we've had a bit of a detox, a bit of a flush, and it seems as if we are somewhat stabilizing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think this is fantastic. I'm super happy about it. I want to see the market relax. I want to see it stabilize, because quite frankly, if it hadn't, and if it really would have continued into the craziness, you're looking at the end of a bull market. End of bull markets almost always look like craziness, and we're not getting that. We're seeing stabilization. We're seeing bottom cryptos bleeding and top ones just kind of stabilizing. And these are the things that will allow for this market to continue, right? If you want a bull market to continue, you need to see times like these, and that is what we're seeing, and I'm very happy about it personally myself. Now, kind of going back into this bad boy, if we head into the top 10, you can see exactly what I mean. Sure, Bitcoin is down a little bit on the 24 hours, and so are things like Solana and XRP, but in the grand scheme of things, right, when you do look at this, not very bad day, right? Not a very bad day at all, right? Or even last 7 days, a lot of stability here, a lot of volatility, right? We picked up volatility throughout these little movements here, but realistically, we've recovered quite well, and we've seen this market really holding its own. And those are the things that you want to see, right? It doesn't matter if we're down a little bit on the 7 day or the 24 hour. You want to see stability around a major catalyst. If the market's not going to pump like crazy because of the major catalyst, you really want to see it stabilize. And I do believe a part of the reason as to why this market is kind of just going sideways and not giving us much right now is mostly due to the fact that people are still holding their breath and seeing if Trump does sign an executive order that has to do with crypto. Will he? I'm not 1,000,000% sure. And do I really care? No, not really, guys, to be honest with you. And the reason being is because at the end of the day, Trump has a lot of bigger fish to fry. Crypto is going to struggle a lot if our U.S. economy just gets destroyed, right? If the U.S. economy gets decimated, if there's anything major happens, if a war breaks out, if any of these things happen, we're going to see crypto get absolutely obliterated with it. And so Trump needs to focus on the things that affect everyone before he focuses on the things that affect 6, 7, 8% of us. But do I think they're going to get to it? Yeah, I think they will. Do I think they're going to have some sort of legislation and things like that? At least some statements coming out and stuff? Sure. But is that his priority right now? Obviously not. He didn't talk about it yesterday, and that's a good thing. It doesn't need to be, right? We are still a small asset class at the end of the day. Sure, we make a lot of noise, but we don't make a ton of noise. Unless you're in the echo chamber of crypto, you don't really hear about crypto every day. So allow it to play out a little bit. And it does feel as if the market is waiting with bated breath to see if he is going to talk about crypto or not. I mean, I feel like it maybe even over the next few days, we might see this market continue to stabilize. But like I said, I think this is a good thing for crypto, and I do want to see it stabilize a little bit. You know, whenever the crypto market sees a major catalyst, let's say the major catalyst is right here, okay? Generally what will happen is that the market will rally up into it, whether it rallies before and goes sideways into it, whether it rallies before and then kind of drops into it, or whether it just rallies into it. It usually does get some sort of rally up into it. Now, the reaction to a major catalyst can be one of three things. We can either shoot up, which will generally end up being the end of whatever market we're in, in that sense, a bull market. Usually that catalyst is the blow off top that, gives you the God candles, and then you just drop straight back down the stairs. Granny gets kicked down the stairs, right? Or you go sideways through it, which is generally a very good thing. That's stability. It means that the market's not going too crazy right now. And then there's the last one in which you, of course, get the buy the rumor, sell the news event, which is usually never very good. And you're usually going to see ugly things follow something like that, right? You don't usually want to see that play out, because it means the only reason people were buying was because of this. And so now that this is gone, they're going to need a new reason to buy in the future, and that's going to lead the market downwards, right? And so with all of these things, my opinion is that rather than getting one of these options, I'm fine with one of these. Let us go sideways. We knew Trump was going to get inaugurated. We knew all of these things were going to happen. This isn't some major news. The real catalyst was in November when he got elected. That was the catalyst. This is just the confirmation, right? And so the fact that we are seeing the market somewhat stabilizing around this time is actually a sign of maturity. I've been very disappointed in the crypto market a little bit, especially as of recently with Trump coin and Melania coin and all these things. I've been a little disappointed in crypto, honestly, because I feel like that was a step in the wrong direction. But I feel like this is a kind of a recovery back in the right direction, because the market is stabilizing. People aren't selling all of their Bitcoin just because Donald Trump didn't talk about Bitcoin at his inauguration. That doesn't make sense. No, people are selling some of their meme coins. They're selling some of their Trump or their fart coin or whatever, or Jupe because Trump, right? Like, they're reacting maturely, right? They're reacting responsibly. And a lot of the people who bought into crypto for the temporary, for the short term, they're selling out now because it didn't go as they would hope it would. And that's fine with me, right? Let that type of investor go. We don't really need them here. They're just the ones that kind of make bull markets a little bit more chaotic, right? And so because of that, all of that to say is, yes, the market is kind of consolidating and it's kind of going sideways and stuff. Yeah, it's doing that, but I believe that to be a good thing. I know some of you wanted the market to just take off after today, and today was going to be the kickoff of the bull market. And how many other YouTubers were saying that January 21st was going to be the first day of the God run, and all these things, right? But I was sitting here telling you, I wouldn't be so sure. Like, I don't think it's going to go as people think it's going to. It could. I just don't think it's going to. And well, this is what we got, right? And I'm not saying I predicted exactly this. I don't really predict anything these days. I just respond to the market and I adapt to the market. But overall, I was very aware that today may not be absolutely nuts. And you just need to be okay with that because it's what we got, one. And two, this is actually a healthy thing for the crypto market. Not only from a catalyst perspective is this a good thing for the crypto market. If we actually just kind of look at what's going on from a technical perspective, it's a good thing for the crypto market, right, guys? If we go in, what you need to remember is that crypto had just recently broken out of this descending. So when we're talking about Bitcoin specifically, Bitcoin had just recently broken out of this descending structure here. You see that? And what happened is that it broke out, it came back down and it back tested it, and now it's going sideways. And these are the types of things that you want to see in the crypto market. You want to see a breakout followed by either some sort of back test and consolidation or maybe some sort of back test and run, like a little bump and run, right? You want to see this play out. And the reason being is because it makes it more likely that the breakout of this structure is actually sustainable, and that we're actually breaking out of the structure. We're not just getting a fake out like we saw from Total 2 back here. Look, let's go here. Like we saw from Total 2 right here. You see how we basically tried and immediately capitulated? No, that's not what we're getting. You see how we broke out and we've kind of stayed out here and things are looking good and we've gone a little sideways. Yeah, a little bit gradually downwards because we are losing some of the liquidity from Trump coin and stuff, but we're holding well. These are the things you want to see. And this is a healthy breakout. And I've said this consistently. Everybody said, no, what the market's not doing or what the market's doing is not natural. I disagree. The market is making a very natural move right now. It's just being accelerated and volatility is being increased as a result of a catalyst such as Trump and Trump coin. And so because of that, guys, we're in a good spot. And I don't want you to think we're not in a good spot. Am I saying for sure that the market's going to go up? No, I'm not. But I am saying the likelihood that it does is growing every single day as a result of the response to Trump's inauguration and all of that stuff over the last couple of days. The market is probably going to start going back to some of its main main reactions, right? It's going to need liquidity events such as the Fed cutting interest rates, right? It's going to need economic stats coming out a little bit better. It's going to need inflation to stay down, right? We're going to need all of these things for the market to continue upwards because at the end of the day, that's what fuels bull markets, guys. The economy, retail interest, supply and demand. And we're obviously getting the demand from an institutional perspective, but we're not getting demand right now still from the retail perspective. And that's only going to come if we do see the economy and things continuing to get better, which they have been. And so because of that, I think we're in a good spot. I think this is an opportunity for the market to go back to rationale, which is a great thing. And I think overall it is going to be an overall positive for the market. So very happy we're getting a very calm day here in the world of crypto. And look, it's only 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. But generally by now the market would have gone nuts. And hey, maybe by the end of the day we see volatility picking up. But it doesn't change the fact that what we are seeing right now is a good thing. And the fact that we have had some calm reactions to post-Trump inauguration. Now, kind of diving more into the fundamental side of things, what we can see here is that things have started to heat up a little bit. We go look at crypto fear and greed index and it hasn't responded yet. I'm curious. Let's see. Yeah, we are seeing the crypto fear and greed index here on CoinMarketCap dropping back to neutral. I am curious to see what it does say here on CoinGlass because CoinGlass is a little bit more accurate. In my opinion, but we haven't gotten that update yet. It should be coming sometime pretty soon here, but we are still seeing that happen. If we go look at the RSI heat map, what you can see here is that we are seeing a pretty sizable correction for the majority of altcoins, especially on the 24 hours. I would assume the weekly's down a little bit as well. A little bit of a mix there, but in the last 24 hour, we can see, that a lot of the altcoin market has gone back to that overbought in the oversold and weak zone, right? That oversold and weak zone. And what does this mean? Well, it means that the market is finally correcting. And throughout this sideways movement, we're seeing a lot of the market kind of stabilizing and calming down. And that's a good thing. That's what you, again, want to see. And you can see a lot of, your whiffs and your popcats and pingus, a lot of them already back to these weak and oversold zones, even though Bitcoin and a couple others are still way up here. And that's a good thing, guys. Remember, because in periods in which you are seeing the lower cryptos putting in the most losses and the higher cryptos putting in the least losses, that is a natural drainage of liquidity. That means that things are moving in a natural, sustainable, and healthy order, which is what this is implying to me. Now, from a trader perspective, what we can see here is that over the last 24 hours, a lot of traders have gone back to neutral. There is not a clear direction that people are deciding that this market's going to go. Some people are opening shorts and closing shorts. Some people are opening longs and closing longs. And what this means is that a lot of the market is resetting back to neutrality. All of these things are pointing in the same direction as we as we said here, just yesterday, everybody was opening up those short trades and closing their long trades. You remember we did that live stream yesterday, and the red box was way up here because everybody was opening up short trades. Well, all of those traders, for the most part, lost because we did see Bitcoin bounce its way back upwards, right? Everybody opened those short trades right down here, and they got faked out twice, once there and then once there. You remember we watched that liquidity hunt happen live on stream last night, and so, or yesterday. And so, because of that, overall, we are seeing the market resetting back to neutral. If we do go look at the liquidation map, what you can see here is that, for the most part, in terms of ratios, we are getting somewhat back to a point of neutrality. There are still a good bit of liquidations to the downside, so there is a massive threat that we do see Bitcoin's price head back to, $98,000. I would say that is rather reasonable, and we actually talked about that here over on Twitter. I said there are $260 million worth of long liquidation sitting at $98.5 thousand. This is the largest liquidation level between 95K and 113,000. And then we went ahead and put a quote up there for you. It said, "A loss never troubles me after I take it. I forget it overnight, but being wrong, not taking the loss, that is what does the damage." And that's by Jesse Livermore. And what this means is that it's okay to be wrong, right? Like, it's totally fine. If we go back down to $98,000 and some of you guys do lose a little bit of money, it's fine. Who really cares at the end of the day? But you need to make sure that you are prepared. And if you're one of those people who have your short trades open, setting a stop loss right now, or set a long trade open, setting your stop losses and being smart with it right now wouldn't be a bad idea, because it wouldn't shock me if we do see those whales, those sneaky little slimy, nasty lizard people, try to push this market back downwards, right? And try to push us back towards 98,000. And it may not be fast. It may just be casual. It might be gradual. But one way or another, I mean, if you look at it from a grand scheme of things, it's not terrible, right? If we make a little bit of a move right there, boom, $250 million is going to be liquidated. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a reasonable move to make. And I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen. We could start trapping these bears because there are still so many liquidations to the top side. But there's not many. There's not a lot. Obviously, in terms of dollar amounts, there are a lot. But if we talk about portions and proportions and ratios, it's not a lot, right? Maybe on the 1 day, but not on the macro, not on the 7 and the 30 day. And I think it would make a lot of sense for this market to come back down a little bit more, start building up those short positions to the top side, and then eventually try to work up to liquidate all those people after trapping in these bulls here. And so obviously that's just a speculation. I have no idea what's going to happen, and nobody does, right? But I do expect more sideways movement probably until we get some sort of crypto news. And if we don't get any crypto news from Trump and his administration, well, then we could see that thing pull back a little bit. So overall, everything is just telling me that we're in a good spot. We're in a healthy spot. We've corrected. We finally seem to be past a lot of the volatility that we had. And I think that's going to allow this market to actually flourish as it needs to and be able to find some sort of a point of rationale here pretty soon. So overall, my general recap for the market is that I'm happy with it. It looks good. I'm actually proud of the fact that we've responded so well to post-inauguration when everybody was just hoping that we were going to see Trump talk about it. Because if you weren't here in 2021, what you don't know is that in 2021, the market was rallying in anticipation of Saturday Night Live. I believe it was like May 20-something, if I remember correctly, where everyone thought that Elon Musk was going to mention Doge on Saturday Night Live. So as a result, Dogecoin was pumping. A lot of different altcoins were pumping. A lot of stupid meme coins were pumping as well. And when he didn't mention it, the market just absolutely dumped. It started right before the show, so it seems like people front run it a little bit, or front ran it, I suppose. But the market absolutely dumped. And that was actually the end of the bull market to some degree. Obviously, we did pump again in November and October, but October and November's volume was nothing like March, April, and May of 2021, and that was the end of the bull market. And my concern was that we were seeing a lot of similarities between that and what we saw with Trump's inauguration, and it made me a little bit nervous. Now, I think a lot of people who had rationale figured he wasn't just going to shill it, and he might mention it. I thought, honestly, he would say like one word about it, but maybe not mention it and maybe not go into it. And also, the entire market wasn't rallying in anticipation of that, because I think a lot of major institutional investors were stabilizing the market, one. And I think they were also not falling into the hype, because we all know what a buy the rumor, sell the news event looks like these days. And that felt like one. And so it feels like the market has matured a little bit, and these are good signs. And so overall, from a market perspective, we are in a very good spot. And I am actually pretty proud of what's happened in the market today. So that's my general update on the market. Look, let me get a cup of water here. Let me take a little sip of water. And then what we'll do is we'll look at some individual cryptos, kind of just dive into some of your ones, Solana, ETH, kind of get a general idea of if I want to do any buying today, because I might not. I'll let you guys know. And then obviously we'll get into more of a Q&A in about 10 or 15 minutes or so. Happy to see you all in here today. Sun God, Anthony D, John Wick, and Elegant. That's an awesome word. Dennis, welcome in. The Big X's. Hello, everyone. Active Dodger. I see a lot of people talking about XCN and XDC these days. I need to go get and check them out. Yeah, I'd love to be a lizard. That'd be great. I'll give you guys the scoop. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. Don't forget, guys, as you did see that tweet over on the screen earlier, if you do want extra information from me, you can follow me over on Twitter at Tyler Crypto Talk. That is where I do try to post, 5 or 6 times a day. So feel free to go check that out down below. In about 10 minutes as well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our school, and I'm going to tell you about an opportunity that you guys have to get a $200 bonus for trading. I'll tell you all about that after we do our technical analysis portion. So do stay tuned for that, of course. Good morning, Crypto Dreaming. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Liam, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, my word. Yeah, it's most likely me. I'm probably not talking to any of you on Twitter or anywhere. Hi, Tyler from Wells. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy to have you. Alrighty, let's get into it. Let's take a look at some altcoins and crypto in general. So, as I mentioned before, Bitcoin in a consolidatory fashion right now. I am a little bit concerned about the price movement that Bitcoin is seeing at this exact moment. And what I mean by that is the fact that it's completely disrespecting this golden Fibonacci zone. You see how we lost it there, we gained it there, we lost it there, we gained it there. We keep rotating around it, and that's not normal. This movement was not normal. This backtest and break above it is normal, but I need to see Bitcoin's price show us a little bit more to make sure we are getting out of this abnormal, irrational price movement structure right here. Because again, yeah, this was a very not normal movement here, and so the fact that we're kind of rotating around it is very weird. So I am keeping an eye on Bitcoin, but again, I do expect that the likelihood here is that we either see Bitcoin continue sideways for a little while, or maybe give us one more pullback towards 98K to go liquidate some of those leverage traders. Obviously, that's just a guess. It's a coin flip right now, whether we pump or whether we dump. I would say the only reason I could reasonably see us pumping is if we do get some news that some sort of executive order went into place that has something to do with maybe crypto taxes, or just something. I think that could send the market upwards. But if that doesn't happen, yes, I do expect us to head back towards 90K. Or sorry, not 90K, 98K to liquidate those traders that we talked about here and that we talked about over on Twitter this morning. Now, moving a little bit along, let's go into Ethereum and let's see what's going on here. Okay, so looking at Ethereum, I mean, Ethereum is in a very clear space to me, right? It's a very obvious thing for me here. And all we need to do realistically is just get rid of all of this. And you can kind of see the way it's playing out. Ethereum is in a spot right now where it is trying its best to break out of this descending structure, but it's just not done it yet. So my strategy for ETH is quite simple. I think Ethereum is going to break out of this structure eventually. I do expect that to happen. And so because of that, what I'm going to actually be doing is anytime ETH hits this red line or goes below it, I'm going to do some buying. While it's above it, I'm not going to do anything. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to literally just sit around, wait. If it goes lower, I'll buy it. If it stays up here, I'll just wait, because eventually I think it'll break out. And that's what I've done. I do it over and over and over again, guys. And had I been doing it here and had I been doing it here, both of those times we would have ended up in profit. And descending structures are the easiest thing to make money in, because realistically, even if we do this, right, and then we break out, if you were purchasing throughout these bottoms, you're going to end up in profit so fast, you're not even going to really realize what happened, right? And so because of that, the way that I see it is ETH is a very simple strategy right now. Do a little bit of picking up as it goes below that red line right there. And then that's it. Just kind of wait it out. No leverage trades, nothing like that right now. Looking at Solana, Solana's actually in a pretty dang on good spot right now. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I did actually close down 10% of my Solana bag at $284, which was right up here. Let me actually go ahead and put an eclipse on there. Boom. Boom. So I actually did go in and I did take a little bit of profit off Solana at 284. You can actually see it over in my school. Here we go. So I told everyone about Solana. I said I just closed 10% of my entire Solana position at $281. My average cost for sold bag is $34, and I've already removed my initial investment. So this was me taking another 70 to 80% of my initial investment out as profit. As per usual, this doesn't mean that I've stopped believing in Solana. It's just always my strategy to sell cryptos that feel euphoric. I still believe $500 to $600 will happen eventually. And I sold this because everybody was buying it just because of the Trump coin and stuff like that, and I just didn't like that. And so I actually ended up closing 10% of my entire Solana position right here, which was basically 80% of the total margin I had totally invested in the first place. And yeah, now we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. It's come back down. I have the opportunity to reinvest if I want to or not. I'm actually going to tell you guys I'm not going to be rebuying my Solana at these levels. And the reason being is only because I am trying to work on another deal with real estate right now. A fourplex popped up not too far away from us, and I do need a little bit of cash to be able to make that happen. And so because of that, I do want to rotate some of my profit from Solana into that rental, into that fourplex if I can make it happen. happen. And you know, that's kind of my strategy, right? I was buying a lot of Solana around 20 bucks, 30 bucks. And so if I can take that, repurchase it, or, you know, take some of those profits back here and then use that to reinvest it into real estate, that means the gains that I've made from Solana throughout the last year and a half, I can actually turn into lifelong gains, right? Lifelong wealth for my children and that, you know, eventual children. Like, that'll be fantastic. So that's my strategy and that's my goal. So yeah, I'm gonna just be kind of relaxing there, but happy with Solana. I know a lot of people were wanting to buy some Solana, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't think it's a terrible time. I wouldn't obviously be dropping all of my cash into it at once, but the fact that Sol did hit right up towards this Fibonacci extension zone, it came back down now, and it is trying to build up some double bottom support in this golden zone. I actually think is a pretty solid sign that Solana is getting a healthy natural correction, and it would signal to me that we very well could see this fifth wave play out here, in which Solana tries to bump and run, find some support, and continue upwards. Now, that's obviously not guaranteed, and if Solana does go anywhere below $222, it does completely invalidate this Elliott's fifth wave, or this fourth wave will invalidate this general count here. So that is something to consider, but there are enough things that say that Solana could be trying to form some sort of breakout structure here. So for Solana, it's not a bad time to be buying. I just would be doing small to medium-sized purchases here, especially if it goes lower. Now, if it goes lower, I would be doing larger and larger purchases because I do, again, still believe Solana will have its time sometime this run, but it is in that cool down phase, and you never know how long this cool down phase will last. Maybe we are getting some sort of ABC correction here, or maybe a three wave to complete that fourth wave, come back test 220, continue, or something like that. So time will tell. I took some profits here, so I'm not going to be doing any rebuying right now because I do want to invest in this fourplex, but outside of that, I'm not going to be doing much right now. And guys, I see you spamming XDC. I see you spamming some of these other cryptos. Please just stop spamming. We're going to get into them if we can and when we can, okay? Just trust me. Now, looking at SWI. Well, looking at SWI here. SWI's in a spot where I'm really not doing much. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was doing a tiny little purchase here on SWI there, but outside of that, I've told you all consistently that SWI is in an ascending channel, and ascending channels will eventually pull back. When you're in an ascending channel like this, you will eventually break to the downside of it. It's just what happens in crypto, okay? It's just what happens in crypto. And so because of that, SWI is deciding right now if this is that moment that it loses this channel, that if it pulls out of this channel, and I'm just going to wait to find out. As you all know, I actually took some profits. I believe it was either on January 11th or 10th, and I'd like to go double check because I want to fact check myself real quick. And guys, all these times I'm taking profit and stuff, I put it over in the school here. Just letting you know that. So this was the 11th. I could have swore I took some profit off the table. Oh, yeah. So here we go. So on January 10th, as you can see here, on January 10th, which was right. Look, let me go ahead and put in a little eclipse here. Or I guess I can just put a circle. That's fine. January 10th was right here. Boom. So when we were in this move right here, I told the school, I said, listen, I'm now closing down another 3% of my entire bag. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and I tried to warn you guys about the spamming. We're just going to have to go ahead and mute you guys. The one spamming like XDC and stuff. But I did close down 3% of my entire SWI bag at sorry, that was crazy. On January 10th, that was right up here because again, we knew that there is this threat of this ascending channel, and I may end up repurchasing that SWI bag. I am rotating some of that into that fourplex as well, but I may rotate some of this money that I pulled from this if we do fall anywhere between that $3.20 to $3.60 level. This is where I would assume SWI's price would come back to, and that would be a natural, healthy breakout of this ascending channel. And I don't know if it's going to happen right now, and maybe we go for another run. Maybe SWI literally follows this channel all the way throughout the bull market. That is very possible. But in moments like these where it's deciding whether or not it's going to break out or not, I literally just don't do anything. I pause and I don't do anything because at the end of the day, you just don't know if you're going to get that rug pulled from under you. Not like actual rug pull, right? But you're just going to get the floor kicked out from under you, right? If Granny's going to get kicked down the stairs. And so because of that with SWI right now, I am in just a pause moment. I want to see if it recaptures and re-enters into this channel or if it does pull back out of this channel. Once it gives me a clear indication of where it's going, then I'll make a move. But as I mentioned before, I did take a little bit of profit on Jan 10, and I think I took some profit on Jan 5th as well. I might be making that up, but I feel like I did. And I may be able to find it here. I feel like it would have had to have been like the 5th or something. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. So look, yeah, check this out. So on January 4th, I closed down 5% of my entire SWE bag as this price was at $5. What's that? $5.19 or so. So I did take a little bit of profit on SWE as well. $5.19 was right here. So I took a little bit of profits right there as well. And it just goes to show, guys, whenever you have that euphoria, just like we saw with Solana up here, just like we saw with SWE right here, you got to be willing to take profits. And we'll have more moments in which we enter into euphoria. It's going to pop up, but you need to make sure that you are using those moments to take those profits, right? And that's where you can see, of course, we had a little bit of success with those take profits. I'm very happy about it. Moving a little bit along, looking at XLM, I believe. Yep, XLM. XLM's in a great spot. Really, really happy with what I'm seeing here from XLM. I am actually going to do a little tiny dollar cost average. I do have my team in here watching. And so, Jacob, what I want you to do, or Gabe, I don't know which one of you guys is watching right now, please go in and please buy a little bit of XLM. I want a small... Give me a small and a half purchase on XLM here as it is backtesting this descending channel. Let's go small and a half. That's fine. I do like the idea that XLM might be giving us a breakout, a backtest, and try to build support to continue upwards. Obviously, this is a speculative play. And you can see XLM is putting in some ascending structure right here. So it could break downwards, but I'm willing to just take the gamble. I'm willing to just go for it. I do want to continue to build this bag of XLM. The reason I'm not doing a big purchase is because I was buying XLM in this green box down here in your bottom 25% of the parallel channel. So obviously doing a big purchase right here would make absolutely no sense since my average cost is somewhere right around this level because I was buying, in the last bull run, whatever. And so with that in mind, I will do a tiny purchase here just because it is doing a macro back test and I'm willing to buy on back test. I'm willing to take that gamble. So I wouldn't be doing a huge purchase at all. Actually, don't do a small and a half. Just do a small purchase here. On XLM, I think that's fine because it is a bit of a risky one. We might see a pullback in here, but I want to just take that gamble and see what happens. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. All right. Okay. Looking at what are we on? ADA. Okay. So ADA's in a bit of a weird spot right now. ADA's in a bit of a pickle, a dill pickle, one would say. So what we can see is that ADA was obviously in this descending channel, but it did break out of that descending channel. Now getting this double-sided rejection off the top side and the bottom side right now. We have this midterm Fibonacci here. We have this micro Fibonacci here. And what's happening with ADA is that if you actually clear everything off, it becomes much clearer. ADA is trying to put in some sort of macro structure. Hard to tell what that structure is right now because one could argue that it's something like this, and I would actually say that's probably reasonable, but it's hard to gauge that because we could have also said that back here as well. So just know we're in some sort of descending structure here for ADA, and I don't believe we're in the bottom 50% of it quite yet. And so with that in mind, we might be like at or around that 50% threshold. So for ADA, I would say doing some small DCAs here isn't a bad idea, but we very well may continue back towards some bottom side structure, towards the bottom side of this more macro structure. So for ADA, I'm not doing any buying right now personally because I am happy with my ADA size position. I'm still negative, I think, on my macro ADA bag. And so I'm fine with that. I'm not really doing any purchases right now. I think maybe we'll try to get a bounce here, but it wouldn't shock me if we bounce there. So until we get some clarity here for the ADA, I'm not really going to be doing anything. I'm just going to kind of let it play out and kind of see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to let it see what happens here. I am very curious to see what VOO did or how it's starting the day off. Up 0.5% on the day so far. Let's see, what about SPY? Also up about 50. SPY clearing at 600, which is good for the stock market. As you guys know, I have been building up a really big bag of stocks, SPY and VOO. It's about 20% of my total net worth now, so I do like checking in on that. But ADA, if I wasn't happy with my ADA bag, I would do a small little purchase here. And I'm fine. Yeah, I don't really want to. I would do a little purchase here on ADA, but I would be saving some cash just in case we fall to the bottom half of this structure. Shout out to you, Ty. Welcome in, homie. Welcome in. Happy to have you, homie. HBAR. HBAR definitely not in a buying opportunity, not in a buying spot for me personally, just because I am happy with my buy size. But it's another one where what you're kind of seeing is it's back testing. So it broke out of the golden zone. It's coming back down now to try to determine if it's going to hold support or not. If it does hold support, I think HBAR is going to run to 46 cents. I would expect that to happen, especially if we do look at something like our Elliott's waves here. You can see that we very well could continue this on the fifth wave, right? This fifth wave right here could consist of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something along those lines on more of a microwave. Microwave is crazy. And so because of that, I feel as if we may see HBAR trying to make that move, but it really just comes down to whether or not it holds 32 cents of support. So for HBAR, you know what? Jacob or Gabe, whoever's watching, do a tiny purchase, a tiny purchase, the smallest purchase in our spreadsheet on some HBAR right here, right around 32. What are we at? 33.6. Just do it. Just do a market purchase at 33.6. Let's just see what happens. It's a bit of a gamble. If HBAR does lose support, it's probably coming back down to 27 cents, and then I'll do a small buy. If it goes lower, I'll do a medium buy, and then if it goes lower, I'll do a large buy. So let's just kind of get those purchases started. Let's do a tiny purchase right here and kind of just see what happens. Okay, let's just kind of see what happens. Okay, USDT. Dominance looking pretty interesting. I'm not really focused on worried about that today. ICP is back at that buy zone. I told you all I'm not going to do anything on ICP until it either clears this resistance or breaks through this golden zone to the downside. It's not done yet, so I'm not going to do anything. Shiba Inu is in a scary spot right now, guys. I'm not going to lie, from a technical perspective. And the reason that I say that is because it did end up losing this key level of support. We lost this liquidity level right here, as you can see, boom. And so with that, as a result of this, we had the support here. Look, this support level right here, we came down, we lost this support. We've now flipped that support into resistance, and this resistance has rejected us below this ascending level of support, right? This ascending trend line right here. And so because of that, the breakout target of this breakout to the downside for SHIB is actually 1676, meaning that SHIB technically does have a downward side breakout target, which could mean a fall of 19%. I'm not super convinced that's going to happen because technically we do have the support here, but all signs do point to the possibility that SHIB may continue a lower, anywhere from 10 to 20%. So although that's not guaranteed, it is something that I would at least be a little concerned about. And so because of that, I'm not doing any buying on SHIB right now. As you guys did see, we did get this 3-wave upwards. We had our 3 waves and then our 5th wave upwards right here. We put in our A wave correcting to the downside, B wave micro impulse, and then now seemingly a C wave coming towards the downside, hence by our C wave right here. And so, you know, even our C wave does align well with this previous point of support also. So because of that, to me, it is something I'm a little bit concerned about. So I'm definitely just kind of relaxing a bit. And look, let me get I'm gonna mute you. I'm just gonna warn you. If you're spamming, I'm just gonna mute you. I have to unmute you myself, and I'm probably gonna forget. So please don't do that. But yeah, so for SHIB, I'm in a bit of a spot where I'm a little concerned, so I would be taking it real slow with SHIB right now, okay? I did also see someone send in a super chat. I'm so sorry, Kirk, I missed it. Should we be concerned about another Trump family Liberty financial coin that will black hole all of liquidity from our coins? I think the more they release coins, if they do, the less impact it's going to have because people know better and they're not happy with Trump coin anymore. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but from a credibility perspective, that would be such a stupid thing to happen. I'd be very upset about it. But I don't think that's going to happen personally. Just a guess, because they saw how it's not all peaches and cream, right? Crypto's a little bit of a bad boy, so I don't think they're going to go for that again. That'd be a bad idea, especially if they didn't talk about it yesterday. But anyway, so yeah, SHIB, we're in a bit of a weird spot here. Pepe also is another one that did give us the fake out to the downside, but Pepe is still creating this descending structure. I saw you in here, Jacob. Jacob, what I want you to do, I want you to go in and I want you to give me a tiny purchase on Pepe. Give me a small purchase on Pepe as well, just because we are seeing Pepe's price kind of hitting this 50% threshold of this descending channel that it's in. And it's not going to be a big purchase because I'll save big purchases for the bottom half of this. I think there's a reason to believe Pepe could technically fall all the way back down to this little liquidity zone right down here where we had all of these previous points of resistance that we're going to try to flip into support. So I'm not going to do a lot of big purchases now, but I will do some small dollar cost averages just in case we do see Pepe try to give us a breakout sometime soon. Said Bitcoin's dumping hard right now. Wait, what? Bitcoin just is dumping fast right now. I'm not seeing that. Oh, I see. That's not very concerning. That'll be fine. It might pull back a little bit, but I told you, right? There's all those liquidations to the downside. That is something that you need to be watching out for. XRP. Okay. XRP is one, you guys know I did tell you, hey, XRP is going to probably cool down a little bit here. There is reason to assume that we could have just put in some sort of more macro 5th wave. If we go, I believe it was on this one. It's taking a second to load, but I'll kind of just get going first. What you can see though is that XRP did just hit a macro Fibonacci zone, right? The Fibonacci extension zone right here at $3.35. When cryptos hit these macro Fibonacci extension zones, it is very likely that traders will take profit, especially considering this Fibonacci zone was built from this. So this Fibonacci zone was built from the 2021 bull market high to the 2022 bear market low. So considering this is a macro Fibonacci zone right here, it is normal for traders to take profit. It's going to be hard for XRP to break through 335. So again, I did take a little bit of profit off of XRP at those levels, right? It was a little low. It was right around $3.14, but not a terrible time to take some profits off the table. My XRP bag is average cost around 52 to 53 cents right now. And so I am up, I believe, what's that, a 6x or something like that on my XRP bag. So I am taking a little bit of profits off of XRP right now. And not to say that it can't continue upwards. I still do think that $6 is going to end up happening at some point. When, I don't know. But obviously, this is just going to be a battle. It's going to be a test. And I like locking in profits at major resistance levels. So that's what I'll continue to do here for XRP. Don't be surprised if it does try to, come back and flip some of these major levels, of previous points of resistance into some support here, as it's trying to do at that previous high. If we do see XRP lose 290, expect it to come back towards 250 to try to retest some more bottom side support down here. So that's kind of where we are with XRP. Not a great time to be buying, in my opinion, unless you're setting stop losses or something. It's just not a great time to be doing huge purchases, especially considering it's at major resistance right now when other cryptos such as, XLM are at major support levels, if that makes sense. Okay. What else we got? Doge did seemingly just give us a fake out. I'm not interested in Doge right now. It's going to be a very volatile as a result of the Trump candidacy and or presidency and all that stuff. Render is in a decent spot right now. Not going to lie. Jacob, give me a small purchase on Render as well. And the reason that I say that is because Render has had a history over the last few months of trying to bounce out of the zone, and it seems as if it's going to be forced to make a decision soon. It's either going to break through this key level of resistance, or it's going to break through the support, right? Obviously, you guys knew that. And we're in a bull market. There's a decent chance that supports do hold. So I'm going to do a small purchase on Render here and just see what happens. Not a big one. This isn't the time to be doing any big purchases. But yeah, Jacob, give me a small purchase here on Render, just in case we do get that breakout to the upside. Jacob, I do want you to monitor this, though, for me. If we do see us start getting daily closes below 632, I may end up having you just close that purchase we just did in preparation to repurchase back at bottom side golden zone, which could easily be... Nah, never mind, actually, because bottom side golden zone's very close to us. Don't worry about that. Yeah, let's just get a small purchase. Let's just leave it. Whatever. Let's just see what happens. Okay, AVAX is still in this descending channel. It's in the bottom side of this descending channel, which isn't a terrible time to be doing some buying. I'm not going to buy any because I'm happy with my AVAX bag right now. I don't want my AVAX bag to get too big, to be honest. So I'm happy with it. AVAX is in a decent spot to DCA if you do want to do some DCAing, in my opinion. Okay, let's go look at Bitcoin. Everybody's stressing about Bitcoin right now. Let's go look at the hourlies. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a dump ski. But it just is what it is. I told you guys, we're going to probably see a lot of sideways consolidation over the next over the next couple, I think over the next couple of days, seeing Bitcoin kind of just ranging up and down, up and down. It's not going to be very surprising to me. We're in a major level of resistance and support. A lot of people are waiting with bated breath right now to see if Trump says anything about the crypto market. And so because of that, yeah, I mean, I know you guys feel bad, but you need to zoom out. If you're looking at the 1 minute or this looks terrible in the 1 minute, I'm sure. Or in the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, look how bad this looks, right? Like, if you're looking at just this, you're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Granny is not going to make it. She's going to the hospital. Man, Granny's going to the hospital. She just got kicked down the stairs. But then whenever I zoom back out, right, we go to the hourlies. It's like, hey, let's all calm down a little bit. Like, that's not really a big deal. Yeah, and I told you guys, right, there's a chance that we could start to see Bitcoin come back down. Look at these liquidation levels, guys. Let's go to the 7-day, right? And you can see what's happening here. We could see Bitcoin come back towards $98,000 to $99,000. That is a possibility. You just need to be okay with that. It is just what it is, right? But as long as we're kind of going sideways right now, I think we're in a good spot. We're in an HMZ, which is a high manipulation zone. So we're going to see liquidations on both sides. We're going to see it going up and down and up and down and up and down. But at the end of the day, we're going to be in a good spot. I mean, I think it's fine. I still think this is a sustainable, healthy, good move for all the craziness that we've seen recently. Major shout out to Marshall Golub, who says, did you talk about Doge? First of all, much appreciated, homie. I do appreciate that a ton. It is snowing outside in Louisiana, and I don't have any gloves, so I'm going to need to go get some gloves. I'll walk to the store, which is open, by the way, and I'll go get some gloves, and I'm going to use that $20 to get some gloves. So much appreciated because I needed some, and that does help. Much appreciated. Let me just go look at Doge real quick. Much appreciated. Let's look at Doge. Again, Doge is one that is going to be impacted a ton by Trump in them, so it is a little bit spooky to me, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, when I do look at Doge, especially from like a weekly perspective, if I kind of just get rid of everything, the picture is very clear for Doge here. What you can see is Doge is trying to break this macro golden zone, and it's just struggling. So while Doge is struggling to break above, a 41 to 42 cents, I'm not really doing much. I'm just waiting to see what happens. It does feel to me as if we could be seeing Doge trying to put in some sort of Elliott structure here. And I think, yeah, like maybe we did just start to see that break here. Maybe we got, oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, like I said, I think it's more likely that as long as Doge can stay above 22 cents, we're in a spot to where I think it's very likely that we put in this first wave here right around 23. We came back down on that second wave back to 8 cents. We pushed up for wave 3 here on towards 50 cents. I think if we pull back, as long as we stay above 22 cents, it feels to me as if we could get this fifth wave here for Doge, somewhere in between 75 cents and $1.50, was obviously a pretty big range there. But Elliott structure says that we very well could see this bad boy push anywhere up from, upwards of $1.80, because of course you want that 3 wave to be bigger than your first and fifth wave, and your fifth wave typically can be equidistant to your first wave. So that says that Doge still could have the structure to break up towards $1.60 under the most bullish conditions, right? It's going to take very, very, very bullish scenarios to get us up there, but it is still in play. And as long as we're sitting in this little golden zone, Doge is just trying to build some support, trying to build a foundation to try to get up towards those levels. So I wouldn't sleep on Doge right now. DC Yang is a little bit of a different story. Not sure if I would be doing that, but it is in a pretty decent spot right now, and I do think that it is still keeping that door open to make that move upwards, so I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, look, what I want to do is I want to shift gears a little bit here. My HMZ right now is a micro HMZ, this high manipulation zone. And what it's going to be is to be honest, if I'm going to be super honest with you and you're not going to like this, I would just call this whole entire thing an HMZ at this point. I'd say this entire little range that we've been in, I would call it an HMZ, which is a high manipulation zone and no trade zone. But if you really want to get even more specific, definitely between like 107,000 and about 100,000. This is like a secondary HMZ zone. So these are just ranges, guys. They're just ranges at the end of the day. That's all they are. And some people even call something similar to this a coffin, but it's a little bit different. Anyway, what this just means is that there's going to be periods where you're going up and down, and the lizard people are going to be going in and liquidating you on both sides. And so we have a micro HMZ here within this macro HMZ, and that's the reason why I haven't been doing leverage trading a lot recently, guys. It's just because it's too risky for me right now. It's just a little bit too risky. I don't like it. There's going to be pumps and dumps, micro pumps, fake outs, liquidity hunts, and much more. We watched a liquidity hunt live on stream yesterday. So because of this, I'm just not doing much, but that's my HMZ. I will tell you guys, though, some of you are trading. Even though I'm not trading, some of you are trading, and I have recently worked out a deal with BitUnix to where if you deposit $1,000 or less, they're going to give you a $200 bonus to start trading with today. Meaning if you deposit, say, $500, they're going to give you $100 to start trading with today. And the coolest part about that is whatever profit you make from that $100, you get to keep it. Like if you turn that 100 into 400, you get to keep it. So if you just want to YOLO play for a little while here, you got $100 or $200 to start trading with for free. And there are trading rewards. So if you trade, 100 million, 50 million, 20 million worth of volume, you can get tens of thousands of dollars in rewards and prize pools as well, which is really cool. So I will link that down below. You only have 19 days left to capitalize on this. So do feel free to go check that out down below. And I will also let you guys know, as I've mentioned a couple times here on the channel, there are a bunch of different things that I post here on the channel every single day when I'm taking profits. For example, I did a huge set of purchases back here. Look, guys, I bought Bitcoin at 92K. I bought 8 at 90, right? And a lot of these purchases are good. So if you do want to see my purchases and a ton more, check out the link to the school down below. Our mission at the school is very simple, guys. What we do is we give you courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, signals, research, Q&A, and much more to help you refine your strategies, because gains are made off of strategies. And I'm not talking about little kid gains. I'm talking about big gains. We're talking about real gains, 100% gains, 80%, 40%, 30, 200, 500. And the craziest part is this is just in the last 3 hours. All of these gains have been printed, 200%, 20%, all of those gains, 80%, 100%. So if you want to go check it out, the best part about it is that you'll get your money back guaranteed if you don't learn anything from all the value we provide. And it starts as little as $5 a month. So feel free to go check that out down below. The $17 month option is much better, but the $100 month option option right now is sold out, and the $5 a month option is a good start. So feel free to go check that out. Again, don't forget to go get your rewards over from BitUnix. And lastly, don't forget to go follow me on Twitter at Tyler Crypto Talk. But now what I want to do is I want to shift the stream a little bit. I want to, and if you are in the school, please feel free to be honest, be truthful, and let people know in the chat how you feel about the school. If you like it, if you haven't been learning anything, I feel people should get their fair shake at it. So leave it in the chat down below if you want. But I also want you guys to leave some questions down below. Let's do a 10-minute Q&A, and then I'm going to go play in the snow a little bit more, I think, because again, I've never seen snow in all 23 short years that I've been alive. So I want to go play with the dogs and stuff in the snow a little bit, and then I will post another full video later for you guys. So. All right. After taking profits, does the math work out to buy back in when there is a dip, which is not below your coin's average value? I can't figure the math out. Yeah, of course it does, because you need to think about it, right? Say you invest $10 into a crypto. The $10 turns into $20, and then the price goes back down half of what it grew. Well, if you reinvest some of that $10 back, or say if you reinvest all of that $10 back in, all you're doing is just reinvesting your profit in at a better price. Right? So the opportunity of gains that you can make if it goes back up or higher. So for example, you invested $10, it turns into $20. From there, it's going to go up, say, another 50%, right? If you'd have just left it alone, your $20 would have turned into $30 because it went up 50%. But if you were able to take that $10 out, reinvest it back in when it fell 50% first and put it in at $15, then whenever it goes up first, that 100% that it needs to get back to your selling point, then another 100%, now you can turn it into $45. I know that was a lot of math, but it does make sense to reinvest your profit back in at a higher average cost after it pulls back from your selling point if you have anticipation that it will go up. But I typically don't do that in big ratios because that is a risky game to play. Okay. It's way easier to explain it to say you bought more coins for the same price. Exactly. That way better. So sorry. That's so much more. That makes so much more sense. So say, for example, you sell 20 coins at $10. You can just rebuy 20 coins at $18. Makes sense. Thank you, Ada to the moon. Shout out to you. If your memes are down 50% and they keep going down every day, do you have any other option other than just to hold if you don't want to DCA and wait for meme season? No, you don't really have many other options. The only thing you can do is just rotate. You can rotate some of that money from those memes into other plays if there are more opportunities in other places. Shout out to you, Crypto Dreaming. Oh, it's Chatty Chad. W Chad. I need to put it in the chat, and I want some of you to join me. W Chad, my favorite Chad in the whole world. All right, what month do you project to be the end of the cycle? I think October. What is your thought? My gut for some reason says May. But I think it's just because I have bias because I've seen how May is always like the end of the run for most cryptos, and I'm not sure what it would take. If we do go into a summer lull this year, I don't know what it would take to get us out of it, except for maybe like the Fed and interest rates and all that stuff. So it's hard to tell. There's so much stuff going on. I'll have a much clearer answer for you in like a month or so. All right. Trump coin, Popcat. We're going to probably stay away for those from a little while today, just because we've talked about them so much for the last couple of days. I kind of want to take a bit of a break. Tyler School is the best value in crypto. Shout out to you, Jim. Much appreciated. What indicator do you use? I use the basic one. It's so good. It's so good. People sleep on it. It's so good, guys. If you go in and you go to indicators and you type in Elliot's wave, just use this one. Use this one right here. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. Just use that one. It's so good. It could be better. Don't get me wrong, but it's very good. I will also give you guys some insight. I am coming to the end of our development for my own little indicator. It's going to be super cheap. If not free, it might be free. I just have to pay the developer, so it might be very cheap. But what it is actually an overbought, oversold signal, and it is a liquidity zone detector. So the way that it works, look, let me get this pulled up. So if I actually go in and just remove everything, what this indicator does is it goes in and it can tell you when it expects that the market is overbought. So we're looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, right? And what will happen is when the market gets overbought, it'll give you signals. It'll tell you right then and there, hey, this indicator, this indicator, this indicator. It's like 7 different indicators that we put into Confluence. And when all of them show overbought, it signals. It'll give you like a little red dot. And this red dot signifies that it's overbought. And it'll also tell you if it's oversold when it goes to the downside. So what you can see here is like if you had been taking profits in these periods where the market was overbought, you were selling tops. And it works for like a bunch of different things. Look at Solana, for example. Look at where you would have been taking profits along the way for Solana. You're taking profits at all of the tops. Fantastic stuff. So we're working on that. The liquidity detector, the liquidity zone detector is also very, very good. What it tells you is where there are high levels of liquidity, and this will help you prepare for rotation points. So once you fell through this blue box, you know things were going to get worse. Once you climbed through this blue box, you knew things were going to get better. And it's not obviously going to be perfect, but it is important to know where your key liquidity zones are, and we are working on that as well. So this is going to be coming out pretty soon here. I want it to be super duper cheap. It's not like a money. I don't really particularly care about the money side. It just helps me with my TA, and I want to just let you guys use it. But I do have a business to run, so I have to pay the developer who works on it. So it might be like $4 a month or something like that for you guys to use. Just stay tuned. I'll announce that pretty soon. I have a little bit more work to do. I have a little bit more work to do on it. I've been working on it for about a month and a half, 2 months. Okay, yeah, no problem. It's all good. It's all good. Please check some of the PDFs in the masterclass. They are great value, and some are and some are missing. Okay. Okay, let me here. Let me actually go put that on my notes. I use Notion, by the way. Shout out Notion. Notion sponsor me if you hear this. Check PDF for classes in school. Maybe sometimes it glitches. Maybe it just deleted them for some reason. I'll go check it. Thomas, sorry about that, man. Is pro-crypto Trump not saying the word crypto during an inauguration speech the craziest overreaction you've ever seen? Probably not an industry you mentioned in... Yeah, it is nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Would you define an HMZ? Use HMZ a lot and it makes sense, but haven't heard the opposite definition. I just call an HMZ a high manipulation zone. It's just a place where I think the whales and the lizard people are going to do a lot of bullshit. When people have super high emotions, a lot of panic, a lot of fear, a lot of imbalance with longs and shorts, and oftentimes we're in a range, I call that an HMZ. It's not an official term. It's just kind of something that makes sense in my brain. Can you talk about yeah, we'll talk about it pretty soon. We're going to take a break from technical analysis for a little while here. I just joined the school last week and it is great. What really helps me is learning the community members, especially discussions from the chat and to ask questions. Yeah, man, the community is one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, look, I'll show you guys in real time. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to try something. I want to try something real quick, which I think will be pretty fun. Let me figure out if I can figure this out. All right, I'm going to do that. No, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Because speaking of the community. Sorry, I just got to figure out how to do this real quick. Okay, this will actually work. All right, so yeah, let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's do that. Okay, can you see that? All right, give me one sec. Where's the voice and video button? Oh, wait. All right, look at this. So look what's going on right here. So we're actually going to jump in real quick.
Perspective and understanding of the blockchain like nobody has, right? So it was insanely positive, except it was put into the wrapper
so right
of the
now,
metaverse, and
we have
nobody
guys
read
like
between the
Sosa
lines
and
that
Anno
this
in here
will,
right
you know,
now
this will be
going
a
over
massive
value.
payoff.
Like
And
while we're
you're
on
gonna
live
see
stream,
that
there's 20, 30
it's
people
going
in
to pay
here
off
learning
massively
right
from,
now about crypto and stuff. I mean, like things like this, you don't
Absolutely.
really find them
I mean,
anywhere else.
even who was it? I think Snoop Dogg
crazy.
bought the first virtual
It's
mansion. I
absolutely
said,
nuts.
if this doesn't pop it off, nothing is going to do it. And
Yep.
it really took a life
Give
of
me
its
1
own.
second.
Like you're saying, yes, it's technically, you know, they're not really selling you virtual real
Do
estate,
you
but
play on that thing?
Hey,
I've
Anno and
never
Sosa.
messed around with any of that.
Annos, I just want everybody to say hello. I'm on stream right now. I wanted to show the stream what you guys are doing. So, what's up, everybody? How's y'all doing?
Hey,
good morning. Doing very well. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, doing good. Doing good. Gonna go back to the stream now. I just wanted to jump in and say hello.
I want to jump
Appreciate
into
you.
the stream. Where the hell is the stream?
We were going to show the stream, but
But yeah, you see what I mean? Like there's 20, 30 people in there right now streaming, like going over, learning things about technical analysis, doing some live trading. I mean, it speaks for itself. It's been an amazing time. And we have like 1,200 people in there now. So, all right. What are you thinking about ASM? I haven't looked at it. Should I look at it? I think the only ones that I've really been big on recently have been Penlink, Tars AI, Morph AI, AI 16s. Obviously, I have a little virtuals, but not a huge bag. Outside of that, I'm not sure. Stick between like 5 and 10. It's the best thing you can do. Stick between 5 and 10. My biggest, I didn't do any big purchases today, but I did purchase a little XLM. Shoot, I can't remember what I bought. I have a team. I'll let you know. I'll have Jacob. Can you send me a recap of what we bought today? I don't remember. 16. Where do I get help? Hey, free one. All you're gonna need to go to the Patreon. There's gonna be a pinned post on the homepage that explains exactly what to do. You have to connect your Discord to Patreon, and the Discord is where everything is at as of right now. So you do that. Do it through your mobile app on your phone, or not the mobile app on your phone. Do it through a browser on your phone, or do it through your PC. You have to do one of those. We're gonna be able to add a crypto payment acceptance whenever we merge a Kajabi on February 1st. Yeah, agents recovered strongly. Is it just a random rotation, or is there something? I think people were just rotating back into their plays from before all the Trump craziness started. When you sell the altcoins, is it better to put into Bitcoin or wait for the bear market? I would do both. I'm probably going to do both personally. I'll rotate some back into Bitcoin and then some into just other stuff like stocks, real estate, etc. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Well, look, it has now been an hour. And again, I don't want to burn out. I want to be able to do these live streams 5 or 6 times a week. So with that in mind, we are going to call it a stream today. Please do let me know. How did you feel about this stream? I feel like I'd love to do this multiple times throughout the week, kind of just give you an update on what's happening, do some quick technical analysis, show you some of the things I'm buying here and there, and then obviously kind of push. Oh, wait, hold on. Kirk, Oh yeah, Kirk. I mentioned it earlier, but look, let me just say it again. I had answered it earlier. Sorry about that. But I said I don't think that they're gonna do another one. Personally speaking, it is possible, but I don't think so. But even if they do, I don't think that we're going to see the market react to it the same way it did with Trump and Melania, because they've been burned a lot. Most people who bought Trump coin are now down if they bought anywhere near the top. And I don't think people are going to be willing to take the risk of rotating into another one of the Trump family coins or something like that. So I'm not personally worried about it. Even if they do it, I don't think it's going to have a big impact. And if they do it, I don't really think, but I don't even think they're going to do it in the first place. That was the answer that I said. Sorry. But thank you again, everybody. I hope you guys really did enjoy the stream. I want to do more like this. I really, really want to do more like this. So if you have been enjoying it, please do smash that like button. Don't forget a couple things that I do want to remind you of before we go ahead and log off for the day. If you want to go ahead and look, let me go ahead and get this pulled back up. If you want to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is on the screen and it is down below at Tyler Crypto Talk. As you can see here, this is me and no one else is me. I do have a second channel, but just go follow this one. God dang it. BitUnix, don't forget, you can go get up to 20% cash back on all deposits between $1,000 and below. So you can get up to $200 in a bonus to start trading with today, as well as up to $20,000 worth of prize pools if you do start trading today. That is linked down below. And then lastly, if you do want to check out our school, you can for as little as $4.99 per month. So feel free to go check that out. Of course, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream today, and I can't wait to see you probably tomorrow, as long as I don't freeze to death, for another stream. See you, everybody. Oh, by the way, I will be posting a full video here on the channel in about 5 hours. So stay tuned for that. And again, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.